So last week we told you that we were going to check out Ybor City, and we did.
Had a great time.
5 stars. Highly recommend.
Oh, what a night!
But that's about all we can show you.
Now, really, we did get a little bit of footage, but we ended up having such a great time.
The cameras just didn't come in.
Yeah, it didn't come out a whole lot, and when it did later in the day, the video wasn't that great.
No. But we did have a great time. It's very up and coming, I would say. There's a lot of foodie places along.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know the 7th. It was 7th Ave.
7th Ave in Ybor City, Ybor.
Yes, and lots and lots of bars, all with their own theme.
Their own specialty drinks that will bite you in the ass.
If you have an opportunity to go, we highly recommended Show Bar. It was fantastic. And
we met one of the greatest single-serving friends we've ever had in our lives, which, if you don't know what a single-serving friend is, look that up on IMDb. It's from Fight Club. It'll explain everything.
Yes. We had a private tour of
all of
the bars in Ybor City.
Thanks, Wyatt, for showing us a great time and helping us walk it off at the end of the night.
That's right.
So we could get back home.
But really...
and if you are going to visit Ybor City, just pay for the whole day of parking because you're going to spend more than 4 hours there.
And you're going to get a parking ticket.
Right.
And then the following day is spent...
trying to find where you pay that parking ticket, which is not an easy place to get to.
Thankfully, it wasn't an expensive parking ticket.
But
we
could
did
have
get
been
one.
avoided. Yeah, could have been avoided. So one of the places that we stopped when Wyatt was giving us our personal tour of Ybor was the Double Decker Bar.
Yeah.
Cool spot, really cool spot. We'd spoken to the owner before we filmed, and they had just opened, and so she requested that we not film an empty bar because she didn't want it looking like it's not as happening as it was. And I'll tell you what, that place was awesome.
It was great.
And then
Wyatt
unknown to us, Wyatt can sing like I can't even tell you.
On stage. He got on stage, and within 30 seconds of the first song he sang, the bar was packed, and the owner had nothing to worry about.
Yeah. So knowing that we were from New Jersey, Wyatt picked a Bon Jovi song to start off with, and the streets emptied, and everybody came inside because they thought Bon Jovi was inside singing. I promised Wyatt that we wouldn't show any of the footage of him singing, but here it is. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it. But definitely check out Double Decker for some great karaoke. Bar was awesome. Owner was great. The dog that was in there was really friendly and just kind of hangs out in the bar with you. Really, really cool spot. Also, a very dog-friendly city for walking around.
Oh yeah, most of the places allowed the dog in. We didn't have her, because we didn't think that it was going to be dog-friendly. But when in turn, we really could have brought her just about anywhere in the city.
Yep, and there's free trolley service through Ybor City. Hop on, hop off. No charge for it, so you can, take the trolley around the city and stuff like that. Yeah, and although, we spent a lot of time in Ybor that we weren't planning on spending and having a great time and partied it up.
Right.
Even though we're on permanent vacation, it's not all a vacation.
It's not.
We still have travel days and...
Stuck in traffic.
Getting stuck in traffic like everyone else, and then... we got to make sure Lagatha gets her exercise, so we do a lot of stuff with her before we go out for the day. Now that we launched the YouTube channel, we have days where we have video editing,
grocery shopping, laundry, cleaning.
All the normal fun stuff that you have to go through.
Your chores.
Right.
Everybody's got chores.
Yeah, and we did have a lot of travel in the last month. Like we said, we're from New Jersey and started out way up in New Jersey about a month ago, and we've been working our way down to Florida and then zigzagging back and across Florida, visiting family and friends on our way,
along the way.
Right, on our way down to Miami to avoid the winter freeze that we normally get in New Jersey. And I got to ttell you, the further south we get, the better it's getting, and the less my knees hurt.
That's right.
Unless I try to jump over a wall in St. Augustine.
No, don't do that anymore. But no, we've had a lot of stops. A lot of stops along the way. And we've been able to visit friends, visit family. But then and making sure that we have downtime for ourselves is important too.
Yeah. We've been together 20-something years now, so we need to ignore each other like every other normal couple. So while we were in the Tampa area,
Yeah.
one of the things that you can do is Manatee Viewing at the Manatee Viewing Center.
Right. Then you can do that during the winter months because the water
It's cold
is
out
in the ocean.
Right. But the Tico plant pumps out hot water into the bay there, so the manatees all hang out there to stay warm, and they made it now a sanctuary with a walkout. They can go and view the manatees.
Right, which was really awesome. So we had both scoured their website, and it didn't say anything about not bringing the dog with us. So we get Lagatha out in the truck, and we took the drive. I guess it was about 35 minutes.
Yeah, roughly.
From where we were staying. And we get there, and there's all these signs, no dogs allowed. So that led us on an adventure. It's always an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So Doug started following the canals and everything, and we landed at a beach.
At a beach with a park that was dog friendly.
Right.
And you can walk the dogs right back up to the plant. There's a trail that goes through the park on the opposite side of the river for the plant, and the dog was able to come out and look at
and we did get to see the manatees, not up close, not like
you could from the Manatee Viewing Center,
right, but we did. One was swimming right there, right in front of us at one point. But then the following day we did make it a point to
go back
just
two of us,
right, and that was pretty cool because they're just giant cows of the ocean.
Yeah. And they're very big and just very docile. They kind of just hang out on the bottom and then kind of surface, and
they breathe air, so they have to come up,
hang out and just be lazy all day.
Yeah, that's kinda really what it looked like.
Kind of like what I'm looking forward to doing. But then they also have a stingray tank, a touch tank that you can touch stingrays.
Yeah, so that was cool.
And then if you take the walk through the back fence in the first parking lot,
it was a walk.
It's a very long walk. But
we were unprepared.
A sea turtle rehabilitation building where they take sick and injured sea turtles from the wild, rehabilitate them, and then release them back out.
So they had 4 there.
Right.
4 there while we were there.
Really cool little program they have there. Like the one turtle we saw was actually pushing around a PVC workout.
Yeah, he was
setup.
exercising.
Yeah, he was exercising to build the strength back in his flipper, so he pushes that around the tank and gives him something to do. And once he's strong enough, they're going to let him back out in the ocean where he belongs.
And he was there for cold shock and pneumonia. So now that his lungs were doing better, he was doing his exercises, and he was actually getting ready to be released.
Right.
So if you are in the Tampa area, we went out to dinner one night with friends, and they hadn't even been there before either, so it was really perfect. But we went
on their recommendation, who went on someone else's recommendation.
Right. But we went to, it was called Black Rock.
Black Rock.
There are a few locations, a few in Florida, and I know that there was some up in Michigan, and scattered around throughout.
Really cool steakhouse. Interesting. Like, we were all reading the menu, like, all right, this is weird, but so they bring you a rock that's 750 degrees, a stone slab.
And a raw steak.
And then you cook each bite yourself on the steak. It takes a couple seconds. And
but it was delicious.
We were a little weird, but we're like, all right, let's give this a shot. Best steak we've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, I like my steak rare, and Doug likes his medium well. So cooking a steak that's happy medium for the both of us is usually a difficult experience. But there, it was fantastic.
Yep. They tell you right on the menu, a couple seconds for how you like it.
It was really cool. It was a really cool.
Every bite is just as hot and juicy as the first. And if you haven't done it, try it out.
And
it is
just the way
cool.
you like it.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
But it was a great little spot.
And then from Tampa, we said goodbye to Craig and Kristen, and we headed down to Fort Myers to go visit some other family.
Yep. Found a great dog beach.
Excellent dog beach just south of Fort Myers.
And it's like dog only, really.
Yeah. Lagatha got to run around, make friends in the water, and a little trail hike to get back to the beach area. Nice and shallow, so the dogs don't have to worry about treading water.
Right. But she loved it. She absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend taking the little bit of a drive just so that they can get their exercise.
In the morning. And then they also have doggy showers there, so you can wash them off before they climb back in the truck, which... really glad they had those there, because she managed to get herself pretty filthy.
Pretty dirty.
So we are on the last leg of our journey now, headed down to Miami, where we are going to slow this trip down.
Right.
We've been doing 1 to 4 days at a place.
At any location.
Depending on availability and family's availability and things like that, on our endeavor to find endless summer.
But we have found summer. So we are going to park the camper for a couple weeks here and experience what we have right here around us. We've got the Miami here. We've got the Keys are right here. So we'll see where next
Slow
week
it down,
takes us.
do some maintenance, because even though we lived in the RV for 6 months before hitting the road,
things still break.
Things still break, and a month on the road, we've found, is the equivalent of several seasons of camping. So we have a couple repairs to do, and a couple things to go explore and
and
check out.
just chance to breathe for a minute.
Right, slow it down and maybe not go out for dinner.
I've cooked 3 nights in a row.
So we will see you guys again next week, and hope you stay with us.
Stay with us.